This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not meeting Mrs. Jones in that cafe for a chat and nothing else, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit kingcounty.gov.
Hey, Seattle, tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
What up, yo? We are back. This is Pep, and the man that don't take no mess, Mr. O-P-I-S, Mr. Stevenson. What say you?
I hope you see the hat that I'm wearing right now. That's how mad I am.
I do. Man, you are angry.
I just want to make that be known.
Tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Lidline Sports.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
A new law is helping people save more money on prescription drug costs. You may also be able to save with Medicare's Extra Help program. Your premium cost can be zero and your out-of-pocket expenses are low. Who should apply? Single individuals earning less than $23,000 a year or married couples earning less than $31,000 a year. Even if you don't think you qualify, you should still check out this program. Visit ssa.gov/extra help. Medicare costs are covered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining another episode of Real Estate and Money. My name is Tina Lombard. I'm coming at you. Our other co-host, Violeta, Strash, will not be with us today, but she'll be with us next week, so we're looking forward to seeing you then. So, of course, it's Valentine's Day. February 14th is just right around the corner. What are you going to do for your loved one? Are you going to bring them anywhere special? Are you going to take them anywhere? Are you going to give them any special gifts? Well, we do have a very special gift idea for you today, so you want to stay tuned for that. Now, it is February, so tax season is actually in full swing. And for mortgages and for purchasing homes, it's very important for you to make sure that your taxes are filed and make sure you have all verifications recording or as pertaining to your taxes. So remember, February is a month that you want to start getting everything together. And as a loan officer, we're going to be looking for you and your 2024 taxes and your 2024 verifications. So Valentine's Day, once again, is going to be something that we're talking about today. And there are certain things that you can give your loved one. Of course, you can buy them a house or a mansion or a condo if you'd like to, or vacation home or what have you. You can buy them material things. You can buy them rings. You can buy them earrings. You can buy them jewelry. You can take them somewhere nice. But today we're going to talk about a gift that keeps on giving. We're going to talk about the mental health of your loved one and actually yourself. You know, it doesn't make any difference if you're in a relationship and you're living in a beautiful home, you're living at a beautiful place, and, you've got the waterfalls in the backyard, you got the helicopter pad on the top or what have you. You've got the great big giant sunken living room and the fireplace in the bathroom or the bedroom, what have you. You may have all that, but if your mind, if your psyche and your mental capacity is not all there for your particular spouse or loved one, you may be doing them a disservice. So today we're going to be talking about how you can help yourself so you can be a better person for your loved one, or if your loved one needs a nudge in the right direction as far as mental health, we're going to talk to you about a way to actually get them up to par. So I want to introduce our guest today. I have a friend who I met several months ago who is an absolute delight. And let me introduce her really quick. She is a life integration coach. Her name is Stephani Pheffer. And Steph grew up in New Orleans and has ultimately earned a psychology degree from LSU. Then she moved into health and wellness and high potential coaching. So she's now a hypnotherapist. And in fact, her mother was a realtor in New Orleans area her entire life. So she knows a lot about homes and that sort of thing. But anyways, let's bring Steph on and just say hello and talk a little bit. Mm-hmm. Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fine, great. So we got our red on. We're celebrating Valentine's Day. So yeah. So thank you for celebrating with us. Okay. Great. So Steph, it's so good to have you here. And I just did a little intro. I was talking to people about, your house can be beautiful. It could be the most wonderful dream home. But unless your mental health is where it should be, unless your spiritual health is where it should be, or your spouse is a significant other, then what's it all worth? So hello. Thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here. Love that intro.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I do is I help people start up. Let me just apply it actually to maybe buying or selling a home, even looking for a home. Came from the industry with my mom. And we often would joke that she was like a therapist because there's such an emotional component when you even decide to list your house, much less than have to get it ready. Then if you have to declutter and decide what to bring, the whole packing process can actually induce a nervous breakdown. Because yeah, right. What should I do? Keep? What should I let go of? And it stirs all these memories up every time you see or touch or feel something. So throughout that journey, which is really the same journey that we all go through in life, there can be excitement or anticipation. There's definitely fear of the unknown at times. There can be attachment, frustration, hope, overwhelm. So the point is there is a myriad of different emotions which occur. And these emotions can affect your ability to breathe. It can make you breathe from your upper respiratory system and not deep diaphragmatic singing breathing. It can get you a little nauseous, or it can just make you plain on excited and full of hype and energy. So here's the deal. It stirs up a lot of emotions, and people may not be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, this is true.
During this,
and what leads to that? Yeah, what leads to that? Like stress, health, hormones.
Absolutely. Well, it's like both and, right? It's just, it can be everything. And it can also be like where you are in your journey. Men and women both start to have hormonal shifts, even in their 30s. And men also do have hormonal shifts. Theirs is called andropause. And so
you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Man boobs, they're real. So what happens is, unless you have a perfect lifestyle, maybe like that millionaire who's doing biohacking 24/7, we all get impacted, right? By just our normal stressful lives. So what you need some support and some help is, and this is how I really do help people, and I think it's very powerful. It's all natural drops. And what these drops do is they use homeopathy, which isn't necessarily well known in the United States, but for years has been known in Eastern Indian cultures for actually prevention. So there's some homeopathic drops, which also have some herbs that help you to feel good, to balance your blood sugar. So I support people with all natural drops, 2 different metals, again, all natural, nothing pharmaceutical in it. And this combined with eating helps to stabilize your mind, your body, your sleep cycles, your digestive system, your heart, your skin. See, we weren't taught this in kindergarten. If we were taught that food is medicine and good sleep habits and managing stress could help, and certain herbs, different parts on the journey, we'd have a very different experience.
We'd be different. Well, just really quick though, Steph. People, why is it important? Why is it important for people to be healthy? Why is it important for you to be the best version of yourself, or your spouse to be the best version of themselves? What can it do in a household, in your opinion, if you are not all there, you're off kilter? What can happen?
There's a saying, Tina, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. It's not just mama. I mean, it's dad too. But so wherever you go, there you are, right? If you're not balanced, stable, your optimal self, you are going to spend your life reacting, almost like knee jerk on autopilot. And that whole ripple effect is shows up in your job, and it does limit your career. It shows up in your relationships, your ability to heal, how you sleep. it affects every single aspect of your life. So when you're moving into your new home, if you're more stable and balanced and you can manage what gets thrown at you, because even once you're moving in, something may get broken in the move, there may be an extra payment, you may have forgotten some facet of insurance. So actually to be balanced and stable as much as you possibly can in modern lifestyle allows you to react from a space of power.
Yes,
and empowerment is what people are sorely lacking right now in this culture. I really believe.
Well, it's something, when I was a teenager, my parents would always fight. You come home to a screaming home, we'd run into our bedrooms and shut the door. And, my mother was going through hormonal cycles and, she had some health issues and the medicine was driving her wacko, but it was very, very uncomfortable to live in that house. And all we wanted to do was sneak out the window on Saturday nights or Wednesday nights or whatever and go to ladies' night down Spectrums and Federal Way. We were just trying to get out of the house. And it was very hard. My father was a very strong person. He had his moments too, but he put up a lot with my mother. And we knew it was mental health. It wasn't so much physical, or she was just a hard person to be around. But we knew that it was very hard. It was affecting the kids. It was affecting how we ate. It affected us going to the store with each other, driving on vacation with each other. Nobody wanted to be around her when she was going through that little demise. Wonderful person, but cray when it came to being home with the kids. So, but that's an example. My father was a very strong man. He loved her dearly, but any lesser man would have said, hey, you're crazy. I'm out of here. I'm going to go towards some more peaceful rivers over here. So is that something that your programs can actually help with?
Absolutely. Because what you're talking about, Tina, and everybody knows it as fight, flight, or freeze. So what happens if there's an incident, something that's jarring, whether it's a loud police siren, a fire alarm, or someone having a rough time, raised voices. Okay. Like even as you were telling the story, my heart rate was starting to accelerate. I was just visualizing, right? Break that memory for you. And so then your body goes through this entire system of fight, flight, or freeze. It's trying to decide what to do. It's dumping cortisol and adrenaline. And that does take its time to run through your body. So even in that moment, we forget to breathe. And you're kind of like holding your breath, waiting for the calm and the storm to pass. And then you start to adopt these behaviors because in that moment, man, you just need to survive. You just need to be okay. But what happens is that gets encoded in our brain, whether we're 5-year-old, 5 months old, 14, it doesn't matter. So in the moment, we're like, we need a plan. We need a plan. So you adopt some plan that might help you in the moment. But then later on, when your brain's wired and starts naturally executing that plan all day, every day, you're jacked up constantly.
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
can lead to diabetes, to heart conditions, all kinds of problems.
Or crazy boyfriends. That was our way out.
Right.
Escape.
Because that felt like home. That was like home. That cray you said, right? It wasn't in mom, but hey, man, I know cray.
I'm out of here. Yeah. And so, then, a lot of times, I used to go to people's houses when I did their mortgage applications, and I will always help people when they were moving and that sort of thing. And I noticed that people, no matter how successful they were, very successful in their business, if they were depressed, their house was in complete disarray, sometimes almost hoarding. And I know a lot of people, when their kids leave, when a spouse dies, or anything traumatic happens in their life, you can look at their house and you can see the effects of mental illness or mental adjustment that needs to take place because, there's maintenance that needs to be done. There's shoes thrown all over, the paint's chipping. And it's not because these people don't have the wherewithal. It's just that mentally they're procrastinating or they cannot get themselves up and going. So is this also something that you see?
Absolutely. And then it gets back to the brain, right? So what happens too is there's neuroplasticity, and over time, if you do the same behaviors, and some people do start to shut down. And so basically, if you're running the same pathways and they're not serving you for expansion, they're kind of literally, they do affect mental health, and you can kind of start to shut down. Your life can start to become smaller. There is another tool that I have, and it's called, it's under the umbrella of frequency medicine. And it's basically a tool in which you can start to reprogram yourself with your own voice, with affirmations. And we use something called binaural technology. It's an AO scan product. It's called mindsync. And what it does is it goes in, you're hearing your own voice. So you're basically, it's not reparenting, but let's say you had a coach and you had the best version of yourself and you are saying these things. You are worthy. You are powerful. You are capable. You attract abundance and prosperity, or I am confident. I am joy. I get what I want out of life. I show up for life. I'm excited to be be alive. I'm resilient. I'm creative. Okay, so you get the idea. There's all kinds of affirmations, but you could stand at the window or the chalkboard all day till the cows came home doing that. Your brain, meanwhile, is criticizing, well, that's nonsense. It's not going to work for you, because we do have that critical aspect in our brain. So the technology allows us to relax and get into something called theta brain waves. So it's like your words, these affirmations are coming in like a laser while you're relaxed, and you are starting to reprogram, just like you press that button on your computer to download and upgrade. So you have the most current operating system. You're choosing what you want at this point in your life. Okay. Stuff's already coded in your subconscious. That's running the show, and that's not probably creating the life you want. That's okay. It's already in there. You don't have to go to therapy for 10 years. Let's reprogram with
This is nice. This is
Yeah.
what you're saying. I mean, and when we say reprogramming, you mean things like when I was growing up, you know, my parents, Catholic family, girls just sit there, don't say anything, don't show yourself, don't speak up. And of course, I'm loud and I'm artistic and I'm all over stage and stuff. And so I felt really, really bad about myself. You know, anytime I wanted to say something, I hear somebody say, "Hey, women aren't supposed to be loud." So that's a programming instinct, and that sort of thing is what you're talking about.
Absolutely, because that's what the beliefs that they bought into the culture under that, I say Catholicism, because I was raised Catholic too, but there were certain rules about you are to be seen, not heard, especially for girls versus boys. And so you really start to dim your light. You dim what your natural gifts are, because you need to fit in and you need to toe the line and you need to not embarrass the family. And then you just start to shut down really in small incremental ways. And actually, I have to say, I have nothing to do with this. However, this book right now is a phenomenal narrative on, hey man, you know what your job is? It's not to fix anybody. It's not to save anybody. It's to bring your gifts to the surface and share them with the world.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, this is really good. So ladies and gentlemen, I actually went through a session with Steph yesterday, and you know, it's a session where she actually had me talking to the computer, and the computer was able to analyze where my weaknesses were, where I needed help with. I mean, it wasn't invasive. She didn't have to give me shots. She didn't have to put me on some, you know, some test for like 2 weeks or test my blood or everything. It was all calculated through the frequency of my voice. And it was alarming how accurate this the scan was. Afterwards, when we kind of figured out what I needed, we actually recorded my voice. I recorded affirmations, about 2 minutes worth of affirmations. And there's a certain music frequency underneath my affirmations that actually hits the certain emotional spots that I need help with. And so Steph actually gave me a recording of the music I need. And it's a music frequency, like the chord of D, G sharp, and an F. And that actually speaks to my soul and gets my frequencies going in the correct motion. And she had me have an audio of me talking over music, and these were the positive affirmations. So the positive affirmations I thought was great. But when I listened to that music tape, let me tell you, Stephanie, I started having tingles all up and down my spine. It was just like, I was like, oh my gosh. I kept playing it and it just made me tingle. But it was hitting spots that can't be reached by medicine. Can't be reached by my mother yelling at me, you know, can't be reached by, you know, going to the top of a mountain and, you know, and surviving for 3 weeks without food. It's something that was just instant. So speak to people about the AO scans a little bit about that.
Okay, so what Tina's talking about, we did 2 scans. We did the mindsync, which is the recording of the affirmations, and then downloading and having it come in so that it can reprogram what you want, what you choose at this phase of your life, and help propel you forward. Tina's talking about the inner voice, and basically our voice does convey information about ourselves. So we might be having a really rough day, but we have to, they have that saying, put on your game face. So you put on your game face, you go into the business meeting, or you deal with your spouse or your children, you get on the phone, what have you. Even though you feel that you are presenting a different exterior to what is going on inside, your voice is directly tied to your emotions. If you got a call about somebody being in a car wreck, immediately there would be a shifting of the notes and tones in your voice. Same if you got a call that you won the lottery. Oh, I mean, just talking about it goes up. So here's the deal. Throughout our voice, which is tied to our emotions, there are certain notes which are excessive and some which are recessive. Again, there's a time for like being hype and this and that. And there's a time for being chill. overall, if you can come from a space of being more, it's not neutral, but more balanced and optimized. Again, here's the key word. You're empowered to choose how you show up and how you react to other people. The notes are like the medicine, and medicine means anything that helps you heal. It doesn't mean a pill or, as you said, a shot, right? So let's broaden our scope of medicinal. Could be an herb. It could be water. It could be sleep. So the medicine in this context is the notes to help smooth out, counterbalance, and optimize what's coming through your voice, affects your emotions, because cancer and other diseases take years to develop, and there is an emotional component. So let's help people balance, relax, show up as the best version, and do life.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of times you hear people say, "Hey, I can hear in her voice that there's something wrong," or "I can tell he is lying," and it's in the voice. So I mean, as with the computer, it's not a far fetch to say, hey, it really picked up on things. And so the accuracy of the scan that I went through was astounding. And what was nice about it, also, the scan pointed to areas of my body that would be tied to the emotional response. Like my gut, if I'm anxious or what have you. So speak a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So let's just think about if you get a little bit anxious, right? And there's a saying, so there's butterflies in your stomach. What's literally happening potentially is there's extra acid now starting to gurgle around. I mean, even chewing gum can activate your digestive system. Well, I would not really recommend it, however, because it starts this cascade of signals, right, of what's going on in your body. So if you're getting a little bit nervous, it can affect your blood pressure. It can affect your heart rate. It can affect some enzymes or hormones being dumped in your body. It's like, hey, pay attention, people. We're going to have to fight. We're going to have to flee. We might have to freeze and act dead. I like the word appease, fight, flight, free, appease. We have to go into appeasement mode. If you're kidnapped, you have to appease your kidnapper to escape. But it's all tied to your physiology in different parts of your body and your brain and your nervous system. It's amazing how intricate we are.
Well, so, I was astounded when I looked at actually you gave me a spreadsheet that had all the components of what I was feeling, what I can do to improve these certain areas. And then afterwards, and you gave me these scans, but I think to myself, if I can be a better person to my daughter, a better person to my clients, to my work, to my friends, I mean, it's just love. That's just basically love. If I love myself enough to present myself, the best form of myself to others, that's the goal. That's the object. So Valentine's Day, it could be your significant other, but it could be your mom, it could be your dog that you kick around, it could be the way you attack.
We run scans on cats, dogs, and animals. And sometimes those are the most fascinating because they don't have the confirmation bias we have. We do have veterinarians who use the scanners to help physical problems with their horse, with their pets. It's amazing because everything is frequencies. Everything. We can measure your heart, your brain, the electricity. Is your brain alive? Electricity. Let's get the paddles out. There's electricity. So everything has a frequency. It really is amazing that the veterinarians use this to help balance their animals.
I had no idea. So okay. So Stephanie, say I'm interested.
Yes.
I'm interested in what you do. So what are the first steps? How do we get a hold of you and what do we go through?
The first steps would be really just for us to do a quick discovery call and see what it is that you're thinking you would like support with, whether it's, again, I don't diagnose, heal, or cure, but if it's some kind of emotional situation, or if it's a goal you have, whether it's to shift your body, shift your business, improve your relationships, or if you're feeling that you want to work out differently, or whatever your goal might be, if I can help, we would uncover and see if it's a good fit during a very brief 15-minute discovery call. So you could reach me through my email, and you have the ability, Tina, to put that up, or do you just want me to verbally say it?
Yeah, Daniel, do you have, go ahead and verbalize it, and then we'll have Daniel.
It's my name, the shorter version, Steph Pheffer at macmac.com. StephPeffer@mac.com. My website is Healing Through Embodiment. So you can also reach, there you go. You can also reach me there and click on an appointment time for a discovery call as well. And we'll just see. We'll see if it's a good fit. We'll see what you want, and we'll see which modality would be the most supportive, whether it be the drops or whether it would be one of the scans of your voice or a reprogramming of your brain for success.
I tell you what, you know, I have to warn you though, when you talk to Stephanie, it'll be like 2 or 3 hours later. We go to lunch, it's 3 hours later, and we're just.
Honey, that's just us. That's not every client.
but I mean, I just felt so good yesterday after the scan. I mean, there's certain confirmations that I thought, maybe I think I'm confident, but maybe I'm not. I think I'm not anxious. I got it all together, but it showed up that I do have a little bit of anxiety. So a lot of times I'm lying to myself, and it was a way for me to really take a critical look. And I admire the fact that I didn't have to go to although it's very good psychiatrist or psychologist, I didn't have to do that to get this immediate response. And it took us about 30 minutes or 30 or 40 minutes. Yes. But that was just worth everything. And I tell you, just to listen to that audio scan of the music and it just hitting every vibration in my brain. I was like, wow, was I that sick in the first place? I don't know.
Now, look, to Tina's point, though, I want to say no one's broken. Nobody needs to be fixed, right? It's just a matter of finding some of these glitches to optimize. And even if it's just 2% to get you to the next version of yourself, no one's broken. And you are amazing, Tina. You're absolutely right.
So are you. So what we worked on, I chose that there's different areas we can work on. And I was working on prosperity and how I look at money. When we were growing up, it was like rich people are mean, they're evil, they're conniving, they're the devil. And so I was like, I want to be the devil. I don't want to be the devil. And then I was looking for men that, that weren't the devil. I wasn't looking for a rich man because they were all the devil. And I'm like, wow, even though now I can talk myself out of it still, if somebody has money, that type of thing. And it's just not true. Then if I make money, I'm going to be evil and stuff. And so that part of my life, I have to really work on, even though I think I'm prosperous. I have not reached the height of what I could be had I not had all those emotions programmed into me.
Absolutely, because that's like a low-grade chronic running in the back, and you don't have to unearth every subconscious or every belief system that was programmed into us. But there also is another book, and it's like, tell yourself a better lie. That was a lie. Money is not inherently evil. People give to the church, they tithe, they build things, they donate things. You could do some amazing things if you had more prosperity. All of us could. So it's what we do with it. But you're right. It's those goofy stories that our parents didn't know any better because their parents told them and their grandparents told them.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it teaches me how to talk to my daughter now. So I mean, it was just an easy thing I could do that was so vital, so important. So really quick, Steph, we only have just a few more seconds left or minutes left. Could you tell us again how we can get a hold of you?
Absolutely. StephPeffer@mac.com, or you can go to my website, Healing Through Embodiment, click on the discovery call, and we'll just see if it'd be a good fit and how much you want to optimize and shift your life.
Yeah, and there's no judgment, right, Steph? Am I right? There's no judgment. There's no judgment. No. Nothing like that.
Absolutely not. We're all on this journey together. And I like that about the tides raise all the boats, right?
Right.
Every time one of us evolves and grows, it helps the rest of us. Truly does.
It does. So really quick, can you give us a success story before you have to leave?
Absolutely. So, okay. So what happens is if there's about 21 days, there's usually consensus about there's 21 days, right, to start to get a habit. So for people who listen to the mindsync program, you don't have to wait to day 21. But what happens is it starts to help with concentration, determination, clarity. Emotional intelligence is amazing because there's such a ripple effect. So this is what a lot of my clients experience in terms of how they're showing up. So whether they get a promotion for the job or they create more, a lot of them are entrepreneurs. So whether they create more clients or their income rises or they're able to create their programs that they want, the ripple effect really is amazing.
This is great. Oh, great. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Steph, for joining us. We're going to ask you back again. Obviously, there's more to it, but thank you so much. And we can't wait for next time to show up. Okay.
Thank you, lady. You're a great student, Tina Lombard.
Thank you. Thank you. I learned from the best. So thank you, Daniel. I'll go ahead and go into our announcements. Thanks, Steph. Okay, great. Okay, so I got a few announcements here after that show. The Call to Conscious Black History Month Museum is open Tuesday through Sunday this month from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. until the 28th. Get your tickets now at calltoconscious.world. The Metro League 3A high school girls and boys basketball championships are this Friday and on Valentine's Day live on Rainier Avenue Radio with girls at 6 p.m. and boys at 8 p.m. featuring play-by-play and color commentary from Tony B. and Bill Ellaby. So you don't want to miss that. There's Rainier Beach in the house. I'm a Viking. So yeah, here we go. So anyways, thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope that that you can come back next week and we can talk about more enlightening and housing and real estate stuff. So anyways, we'll see you next time. My name is Tina Lombard. Have a great one.
Can you hear me?